Alright guys, here we are. We're gonna make a smoothie. Okay, this is a smoothie that kind of has some things a little off with it. This is how a lot of relationships go that are planned not so well. So they kind of have some things that really shouldn't belong. So first of all, we have this half a banana that's been sitting outside for a little while. But we're gonna use it, and this kind of represents kind of putting half of something into a relationship. Or it could even mean, you know what, girls, you wore half your shirt, so we're just gonna put the leftovers in here. You know, we'll put the whole thing in there. That works. Next, we have some tomatoes, because they're a fruit, right? They go in smoothies. Tomatoes might not, but a lot of times in your relationships you put something else that doesn't really belong in the relationship, that you bring in your past relationships or something like that, and they somehow fall into your new relationship. That doesn't work out so well, but we're gonna add those to our smoothie. Doesn't this look delicious, guys? Next, we have some syrup here. I like my smoothies with syrup, right? And the syrup kind of represents, guys, you have some sweet talk. You kind of lead girls on. You try to sugar things up. But we're gonna put that in our smoothie here. Oh, that's gonna be fantastic. Next, we go with some milk. Got to have some filler to our smoothie, and this milk I think has been sitting out for a while. I think it's past its expiration date. But that's okay. That looks kind of gross. That didn't flow too well. But what that is that's filler in your relationship that also doesn't really belong, and it's kind of spoiled and rotten, and that's when you feel like you have to make out every time and it's all about the physical. It doesn't belong in your relationship. Also, what doesn't belong is ketchup, and this kind of represents kind of having a bleeding heart, and you put your heart into it, and sometimes it doesn't come out so well because you put so much into it that wasn't into bad relationships. And also, every smoothie's gotta have some ice in it. So we have some of that in there, and that's sometimes your relationships are cold. And lastly, we have some water. Normally you wouldn't think that water belongs in a smoothie, but for our smoothie it does. And that represents watering down your relationship when you're not really focusing on Christ. When Christ is in the center of your relationship is watered down. So we're going to add that. And that's just looking fantastic right there. Does that look good, everybody? This is what happens when you have a relationship that's not healthy and you put in the wrong things. And we have a lid here, but you know, we're not going to use the lid, because when you're in an unhealthy relationship, you don't put a lid on it. You do things that you shouldn't do, and it's not confined. You don't set boundaries. So we leave it at that. And so we're gonna make our smoothie, but I'm not gonna be here. I don't wanna be in the way of this. So we're gonna see what happens here. Let's add a little bit more water. And a little bit more syrup. Why not some ketchup just to make things really good. All right, let's see what happens. That looks fantastic. Huh. Anybody want to try that? It's kind of chunky.